Sag, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here doing your February already, 2018 reading. And I'm going to do, if I can remember, I'm going to get the cards out, a little bonus love reading since there's Valentine's Day. Okay, just have a deep breath. And I'm just going to lay some cards out and read a little more freestyle. I find when I still end up reading card for card, it seems like, but when I feel like when I have to read card by card, it kind of interrupts my flow. I'm using the Vicevesra tarot. It's cool, really cool deck. I really like it. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck is this Page of Cups. And so usually the cards at the bottom of the deck I read sort of as an underlying theme or something that needs to come to the surface that may be influencing things. This is a message of love, a new beginning in your emotions, anything that you have an emotional reaction to. This could be someone communicating with you and asking to get together, or just talking to someone that, when you're talking to them, you have, you get excited, you're emotionally excited about it, things like that. But it can also be things like you could get a message about a job you really wanted that that elicits, an excited response or something like that. So some type of new beginning or message that heralds a new beginning in the emotional realm. So let's see what we have here. So we have two aces. Is that all? Not all, but yeah, we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So again, aces, pages, for me, they point to new beginnings in the suit that they're in. So we have a new beginning in emotions. We also have this Ace of Swords. This is cutting away all the BS, and interesting. Sometimes a lot of that BS is emotional experiences and feelings that we attach to a situation, usually from something from our past. So it doesn't even necessarily mean it's something that literally has to do with what's going on in the present. And this cord can come and, sever those ties, if you want to think of it as a cord cutting, or cut away all the extraneous background noise and chatter and distracting things that get put into a situation, and get right to the heart of the matter, right to the truth of the matter, I guess I should say. It can be really getting sometimes you ever had that when you're just really thinking about something and you can't figure out how to make it work, and you're really struggling, and you're just like, well, what about this? But what about this? But what about this? You're just going over and over in your mind, and then all of a sudden it just becomes very clear for whatever reason, and you're able to, it just seems simple all of a sudden. So that's that energy of that Ace of Swords. And then the Ace of Pentacles is really a beautiful offering of a new beginning in your everyday life. So a new job, could even be money, which will go hand in hand. A new health routine, a new home, something like that. But it's a really obvious change, because it will be a change in your everyday, tangible, day-to-day life. So maybe you decide to spruce up your home, maybe you paint or get some new furniture or something like that, or you are able to now save for a home, put money away, things like that. So it's something that is going to make a very positive impact on your day-to-day life. Or maybe, the this Ace of Swords is you making a decision, getting your mind straight and saying, I am going to start saving money. I am going to get a new job. I am going to, it's just sort of that clear, like, this is what I need to do. And then here's the tangible, practical doing it. You also have, wow, that's really interesting. You also have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So that's pretty amazing. This does, for me, I tend to read the Knights as like, it's kind of like a big force of energy from the suit it's in. So a big force of change of thought, because this is swords. And so these two together is just like, you're really changing your thinking about something quite a bit. And then, whoops, doesn't matter where I put them. And this is definitely making a change, but this is slow and steady change. So this isn't instant gratification, but you're like, if I want to get a different job, if what I really love to do is this, then I need to go back to school. I need to start saving money. I need to get credentialed or qualified, or find that job. I need to put my resume out there. Maybe I need to move because I can't really do that job where I live. So I'm going to start figuring out how to make that happen, to make that change. You have a couple of fives. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. This is the Emperor. So when the Emperor shows up, I always say this is like, take control of your life. I feel like I'm giving a reading to myself. What do you really want to do? Make sure the choices you make in your life and the things that you're doing are what you really want to do, because, we always have, I think we find out we're doing what society says, what our family says, and not that any of this is necessarily malicious, but we kind of like, this is what I have to do. This is the way it's supposed to be done. And so this challenges it. It's like, okay, you're the one that has to live with the consequences. Are you happy? Is this going well? Is this what you want to do? Is that decision you made sitting right with you? Because you're the one that has to live with the consequences, not anyone, not society, not your family, not your friends, not anyone who is maybe pushing you or trying to influence you. They're going to be like, well, hey, it was your choice. You did it, right? So you have to make sure that any decisions and choices that you make are truly what you want to do and what you can live with. So there's this 5, though. That's what I was saying before. And this is like, I think, the 5s, I like to say, are like a stone in your shoe. It isn't necessarily like something horrible, but it's friction. It's something rubbing you the wrong way. Like if you have a stone in your shoe and you're walking, you have to stop and take it out. Like you can't ignore it anymore. So this is the energy of like, maybe you're thinking about doing something, and this is like, you can't just keep thinking about it, or you can't, when you think about it, say, oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, I'm putting it in the back of my mind. Oh, forget it. That will never happen. That will never work. This is like, okay, you have to stop thinking that way. You have to change your thinking about something. You have to stop and take that pebble out of your shoe. You can't keep just going on the way you have been. Yeah, and the 4 of Cups, this points to, this is what I think of as the working for the week, living for the weekend, kind of like, oh, this getting up, going to work, coming home, feeling exhausted because you're just not happy. Your heart's not in it. So it's just really kind of wishing your life away. Oh, I can't wait for the weekend. And then Sunday, it's like, oh my God, I already have to go back to work again. And so you have to think, it's like, okay, what in my life feels that way to me? And why is that? Is it, do I really not want to do it? Do I want to do something else? Is there someone in that? It's like, it's just a challenge. Then why are you doing it? And what's holding you back? Because a lot of times it's ourselves. I think almost all the time I know for me, it's resignation instead of being motivated to make some changes. And then you have these two cards, these two cups cards. You have the Three of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It's interesting. They almost look like they maybe could be the same person. But the Three of Cups is just like, get out there, enjoy life. Like, I like to think of like, make your life match your Instagram feed. Like, make your, you know what I mean? Like, if you follow all these, you like to follow all these travel photographers, travel things. Like, do you travel? And then there's ways to bring that into your life. It's like, I don't have money to travel, but lots of times where people live, they don't, like my sister-in-law is from Austria. She's like, oh, I never go there. Like, I've never seen the Lipizzaner. I've never seen, and she's just like, I don't know. You just don't tend to do things where you are. So it's like, explore around. You can still get a taste of adventure on a budget if you're creative enough. If you challenge yourself, how can I do this? Or maybe that's what you want to do. You want to start saving money so you can do things. I mean, I think things like the bucket list, you kind of think that's something you do later in life, maybe, or maybe that's just me. But it's like, time to get out there, find someone who, and if you don't think you have someone, there are groups where you can go do things. I mean, if you really want to do something, or do you just want to, sit there and go, oh, I'm never going to have mine. I'm never going to look at that ship. Someone's going on a cruise. Someone's going and traveling and doing something, and I'm just stuck on the beach. That type of attitude, like, I'll never be able to afford that. Well, maybe, we got to change our thinking about some things this month. We've got to get something straight. What do you want to do? And it's time to make it happen. And she's just like, yeah, I want to, you have the Page of Cups down there too. It's like, I want to feel better. I want to be happy. And what do I need? What changes do I need to make? Because, right, we can only control ourselves to make me happy. And it's hard to go between, everything's, this card, everything's fine. This is just the way it is. It's fine. It's fine. Versus, hey, you want to truly be happy, you got to, you can make it happen. I truly believe that. And of course, there are times in your lives when things are going on and real, like, tragedies. And obviously, if that's happening to you, I'm sorry. And that's clearly not what I'm talking about. But if you're just sort of stuck in a rut, that's the type of thing. So, but you're the one that needs to take charge. I mean, look at this. It's like, I'm changing my thinking. I'm going to make things happen. But it's like, I'm going to do it in a really practical way. So this isn't reckless. There's literally not one wand on the table. So this isn't impulsive. This isn't going to be the energy where you're like, I'm going to start running. And you go buy $100 sneakers and an outfit. And then you decide to run 5 miles in one day. And it's like, you're like, running sucks. I'm not doing it. This is much more like, this decision, this mindset that you're getting into is really going to happen. But it's going to be slow and steady wins the race. But you have to start. And I think this is the month that you're going to start. So I also wanted to do a quick love reading. So I'm going to throw those aside. I'm going to use the, Crystal Visions Tarot. So kind of a whole lot. No, too many jumped out over here. But we'll leave the Eight of Wands. So that's new love coming in. That's things moving fast. So that's kind of the opposite of the energy in the other reading. This is like, woohoo. So maybe, this communication of love. Wow. So the Hierophant, here's the 5 that I thought was in the other reading. He's traditional, But the Hierophant is, to me, where you find your wisdom, and that can be very different. Some people find spiritual teaching and wisdom and sort of their philosophy of life from going to church or something, but some people find it hiking and being on top of a mountain. Some people find it with tarot cards. You know what I mean? Some people find it more in a much more intellectual pursuit. And that's whatever it is, but it can also be wisdom coming in very unexpected places, and to be open for it. So you may meet someone in a just, maybe you've been doing online dating and somehow you just run into someone in the coffee shop or the library. I don't know why that came, or whatever. And it's like, wow, I've been doing all these things to meet someone, and then I randomly meet someone doing something, where you wouldn't traditionally think you would meet someone. So although this card's often read as tradition, a traditional way, I think if we're open to it, we can get these messages in many, many different ways. It doesn't have to just be a set way. The Six of Swords, just had a tarot reading, and several the same cards are coming up, and I'm a Sag. This is moving on, like no longer settling. This is like the decision when it comes to love where you're like, if I see a red flag, I am out of there. And this isn't, I'm not giving anyone a chance or I'm unreasonable. This is just like, hell no, I'm not staying. Bye-bye. I'm out. Not happening. And, even if I've invested quite a bit of time, I'm not going to, I'm not going to stay in a situation that doesn't serve me. So some of you may actually be leaving a situation, maybe one where guys were really hot and heavy, but you're like, I'm leaving it because I am still holding out for the right relationship. Not the fairy tale, but the right relationship. Like I sometimes I think we think, and I do, like, and it's not right, but like that perfect person is unattainable. Like we'll never find a person that treats us right and blah, blah, blah. So again, that's that. We have to be careful what our thoughts are, because then we attract subconsciously that type of negativity, that type of person. So this is be really clear in that you deserve and want to bring in a positive person. But once I think you're letting go, you're walking away, it's like, it's going to happen when it happens. Like that always seems to be the time, or the one you're like, I'm really going to focus on my career right now. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's like you meet someone. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's because you're not trying to force it. You're not spending all this kind of negative energy unknowingly on, oh, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to meet anyone. And like, you're just putting out this, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to meet anyone. So once you're like, hey, it's going to happen, whatever, I'm going to focus on something else. I'm going to focus on my bucket list and making happen and being happy. And then it's like, wow, boom, you bring in that relationship that really is what you wish for. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really lovely February. Take care.